All right, Shalom. First off, I'm gonna start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's true name, Yahweh Shai being the name of His only begotten Son. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you walking throughout the four corners of the earth, continuing to push and do the works in truth and in sincerity. All right, this is the brother Mashah Mayum, one of the men here with the GMS branch, out here in the morning camp. Here with another quick lesson through the spirit, and pretty much it was inspired off of a brother's group meet challenge, and pretty much dealing with continuing to fight, okay, or push press on. All right, and I'm gonna start off with the main precept that the brother posted, which is Philippians chapter 3. Philippians chapter 3 and verse 13, and it reads, "Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of the Most High in Yahushua Mashiach." Okay? This is the precept, the main precept the brother posted, okay? And brothers did different replies to it, but, pretty much dealing with continuing to press on and fight, okay, no matter what. All right, that word "press," when you go into it, is I believe it's matter of fact, let's just go ahead and do it. All right, I don't even I'd rather just show you instead of say it when I can. This is Philippians chapter 3 and verse 13. Going into that word "press." The word "press" in the Greek is
Strong's G 1377. Dioko.
Right. It's the Greek word dioko, and it means to make. But the definition I read that stuck out was the second definition in it says to press on figuratively of one who in a race runs swiftly to reach the goal. Okay. And scriptures also talk about, run that ye may obtain, okay? Know ye not that they which run in a race run all right? So we on a run, okay? And what it says, it also says to pursue, okay? So we're in a race, okay? And we're pressing on towards that mark, okay? To reach the goal. And the ultimate goal is what? Right? To be perfectly formed, okay? Into the image of Yahweh Bashim Shai when he comes, okay? And ultimately in hopes of receiving salvation. Okay, that's the ultimate goal, right? So basically dealing with each and every single day. I was thinking about a lesson concerning these this challenge, and basically each and every single day doing better each and every single day. Okay, because like it says in verse 13, I'm gonna read it again. It says, "Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before." Okay, so don't worry about what's behind. Okay, yesterday's the past. Okay, that's behind you now. Okay, if you didn't do too good yesterday, okay, if you didn't do too good last week, well, hey, each and every single day you wake up, right, it's another day to do good. Okay, because real quick too, like it says in Lamentations, let's get this. Lamentations chapter 3 and verse 22, right? It says, "It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness." Okay? So as long as we continue to pray to the Lord and continue to be in a repetitive mentality and spirit, okay, hey, the Lord, his mercies are renewed every morning for us. Okay? And each and every single day is a day to what? Do better for the Lord. The Lord wakes you up, allows you to still have the Spirit upon you to call upon his name and praise his name. Hey, thank the Lord for that, and do what you can, right? From here, let's go to Galatians chapter 6 and verse 9, and it reads, "And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not." Okay, so you can't be weary, okay, and you can't faint. All right, Another thing too I was going to speak on, you know, something along the lines of continue to fight and continue to wrestle, okay? You know, because ultimately this is a fight for salvation. All right, we got many different things, right, that distract us and try to throw us off the course and the path. Okay, but what? As long as we continue to pray, okay, and remain focused and keep the goal in mind, ain't nothing should throw you off the path. All right, because it says what? For in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So you can't faint. Okay, scriptures also say too. Let's get this real quick. I found the precept I wanted. This in Sirach chapter 2 and verse 12. And it reads, Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that go two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. Okay? So dealing with what? Not being faint-hearted, okay? And let's go into that word faint real quick. Just want to see what the definition is. Faint. The second definition, it says to dissolve, metaphor to weaken, relax, exhaust. Right? A, to have one's strength relaxed, to be enfeebled through exhaustion. To grow weak. Okay? So no matter whatever it is we're going through, okay, the different things and trials that we go through, okay, and the different darts that Satan throws at us, and the different, you know, ups and downs, okay, you can't let that make you weak, okay? You got to continue to get up and fight, okay? Because ultimately, if you faint, then what? That's Sirach 2 just said you will not be defended, all right? So we can't give up, but we got to keep going, and no matter what. And the main thing is really keeping the goal in mind, all right? And you got to ask yourself, too, do you want to die with the rest of these people here that are going to be destroyed, or do you want to continue to fight no matter what, all right? Go through the different things you got to go through, hold fast your integrity and faith, and be delivered, right? You know, and the answer, you know, for the elect is going to be the second, you know, the second thing I just said, all right? And we want to be delivered in the times to come, you know? From here, let's go to Luke chapter 9 and verse 62. This is Luke chapter 9 and this is Luke chapter 9 and verse 62. And it reads, And Yahushua said unto him, No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. All right. So this is a job we got. Okay. Our hand is on the plow. And if you look back, all right, hey, you're not fit for the kingdom of the Most High. Okay. So we gotta remain focused no matter whatever it is that we're going through. Okay. Whatever is thrown on our path. Right. Once again, you know, like I said, you might have had a bad week last week. You might have had a bad day yesterday. But hey, the point is keeping that goal in mind and continue to get back up and do better. Okay. It really, once again, it's having that mentality to keep wanting to do better, right? From here, let's go to dealing with Galatians chapter 6 and verse 9, right? Let's go to Ephesians chapter 6. Actually, matter of fact, hold on. Let's get Sirach. That's the perfect precept. Sirach chapter 51 and verse 18. Dealing with the word wrestle. This is Sirach chapter 51 and verse 18, and it reads, For I purpose to do after her, dealing with wisdom, and earnestly I followed that which is good, so shall I not be confounded, right? You did your best to, walk in the ways that please the Most High, applying this wisdom, okay, through these scriptures, right? Verse 19, my soul hath wrestled with her, and in my doings I was exact. I stretched forth my hands to the heaven above, and bewailed mine ignorances of her, okay? So having this wisdom, you go through many different things, and you're tested in many different ways, okay? To reform your mind, your mentality at times, right? But what? You don't give up. You don't stop fighting, okay? Like Jacob wrestled, okay, for that blessing, even though his hip was out of joint, or his his hip, yeah, or I believe it was his thigh, okay, was out of place, right? But what he kept, he held on, he kept wrestling, he kept fighting, and this is the same thing we're doing through the spirit, okay? Because dealing with wrestling, or dealing with that word wrestled, all right, it makes me think of Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 11, and it reads, put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay? So it said, well, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. So this isn't no carnal fight, okay? And dealing with the different things that I mentioned, okay, that Sirach said, what? I wrestled with her, okay? So having this wisdom, okay, we're gonna have to deal with many different things, okay? And it's a fight. All right, wrestling with your flesh, okay, wrestling with the different distractions and obstacles and things that get in your way throughout your day, okay. Whatever it is that the Lord has upon your plate that you have to deal with, balancing that out and still maintaining focus in His word, this truth, right? Those are different things we have to wrestle with. All right, but what? You don't stop. You don't give up. But that's the point, just dealing with, not giving up, continuing to fight no matter whatever it is that we got to go through. All right. So with that, I'm going to say, call hello, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash, the honors unto the elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you walking throughout the four corners of the earth, continuing to push and do the works in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.